next one. I have gone for some sentences here. Forget about the last statement because I kept a blank there. We'll think about these statements. Which of these sentences is so or grammatically correct? You know what is subjunctive mode. I told you this in detail in the case of subject agreement. We have gone for it. Subjunctive mode means something that is not a reality. Something that is just an imagination or a wish is termed as subjunctive mode. Come to the statements here. I wish I am a doctor. I wish I was a doctor. I wish I were a doctor. I wish he was my brother. I wish he were my brother. I wish they had played well. I wish they played well. So which of these sentences is so or grammatically correct? That's what we need to find out. So subjunctive mode means, as I said, just an imagination or a wish. Now the rule is this. I wish, we wish, you wish, they wish, he wishes, she wishes, all these are in the subjunctive mode. So I wish, we wish, you wish, he wishes, all these will be followed by a clause in the simple past tense. This is the rule. And simple past means subject plus predicate. So I wish, we wish, you wish, all these will be followed by a clause in the simple past tense. One rule. Then, if a sentence is in the subjunctive mood means imagination or wish. If a sentence is in the subjunctive mood, no matter whether the noun or pronoun is singular or plural, no matter whether noun or pronoun is singular or plural, we have to use were and not was. So when a situation arises, I am not saying that in every sentence we have to use were. When a situation arises in the subjunctive mood, when a situation arises where we need to use was or were, no matter whether noun or pronoun is singular or plural, we have to use were. That means the subjunctive mood, with all the nouns and pronouns, we have to use were and we cannot use was. So this is it. So I wish, we wish will be followed by a clause in the simple past tense. And the subjunctive mood, no matter when a situation arises where we need to go for was or were, no matter whether pronoun or noun is singular or plural, we have to use were and not was. So this is a rule regarding subjunctive. Now we'll find out which of these statements is so or grammatically correct. Come to the first one. I wish I am a doctor. I wish I am a doctor. The subject here is I. Am a doctor is the predicate here. Subject and predicate clause. I told you earlier about clause. Subject plus predicate. I, the pronoun I is the subject here. Am a doctor is a predicate here. So I am a doctor can be termed as a clause. And as I said, the clause that comes after I wish must be in the simple past tense. Come to this one. I am a doctor. Am does not come in the past tense or future tense. Am comes only in the present tense. So I am a doctor is in the present tense. So it must be in one of the four categories of present tense. No ing, not continuous, not perfect continuous. No has to have plus V3, not perfect. The only category left is simple present. I gave you examples like these in tenses. I gave you many examples. So I am a doctor is simple present tense. I wish cannot be followed by simple present tense. So this statement is grammatically wrong. Come to the next one. I wish I was a doctor. I was a doctor is simple past tense. So I wish followed by simple past, that is completely fine. Then I said, in the subjunctive mode, where we have to use was or were, with all the nouns and pronouns, it must be were and not was. I wish I was a doctor. So in this case, with I, it cannot be was, it must be were, because sentence is in the subjunctive mode. So was is incorrect in this statement. This sentence is also grammatically wrong. Come to the next one. I wish I were a doctor. I wish I were a doctor. The clause here is I were a doctor. I were a doctor is simple past tense. I wish followed by simple past, that is completely fine. With all the nouns and pronouns in the subjunctive mode, we have to use were. That is also completely fine. Were is used here. This statement is completely grammatically correct. These two rules are satisfied in this statement. Now sentence started this way. I wish, present tense. I were a doctor, past tense. Started in the present, ended in the past. No tense constancy, still grammatically correct, exception in subjunctive mode. Exception regarding the usage of statements with I wish, subjunctive mode. Come to next one. I wish he was my brother. I wish he was my brother. He was my brother is simple past tense. So I wish followed by simple past, completely fine. But there is an error in this state. I said in the subjunctive mode, no matter whether noun or pronoun is singular or plural, we cannot use was, we have to use were. So in this context, was is a wrong usage. This statement is grammatically wrong. Come to the next one. I wish he were my brother. I wish he were my brother. He were my brother is a clause here, simple past tense. With all the nouns and pronouns in the subjunctive mode, we have to use were. So in this case, he were is a correct usage. That is also completely fine. This statement is grammatically correct. The next one. I wish they had played well. The clause that comes after I wish is they had played well. They had played well. The subject here is they plus had plus played is V3. Subject plus had plus V3 is past perfect tense. I wish cannot be followed by past perfect. I wish will be followed by simple past tense. This statement is grammatically wrong. Come to next one. I wish they played well. The clause here is they played well. The subject is they plus played is V2 here. Nothing like subject plus V3. And subject plus V2 is simple past. So I wish followed by simple past. I told you, in every sentence in the subjunctive mode, we cannot use was or were. Only when a situation arises in the subjunctive mode, where we need to use was or were, in that case we have to use were. Anyway, in this statement, we cannot use were. Were cannot be used in this statement. So forget about this rule. I wish is followed by simple past tense. This statement is grammatically correct. Come to the last one here. If he dash she, he would work hard. The sentence started with if, subjunctive mode. I gave you similar examples in subject beginning. If you go for that, you'll understand that. If you go through the rules we discussed, you can understand this sentence easily. If he dash she, he would work hard. If means subjunctive mode, not a reality, just an imagination or rubbish. And as I said, the options given here are, I give you options like was, were. So question is, should it be if he was he, if he was she, or if he were she? As the sentence is in the subjunctive mode, no matter whether the noun or pronoun is singular or plural, we cannot use was, we have to use were. So in this case, the answer must be, if he were she, he would work hard. If he were she, he would work hard. If he was she, if I was you, if they was we, all these are grammatically wrong. If I were you, if she were he, if they were we, all these are grammatically correct. So if he were she, he would work hard. So this is a rule regarding subjunctive mode. I wish, you wish, we wish, followed by simple past tense. And subjunctive mode, when a situation arises, we have to use was or were, we cannot use was, we have to use were. And the examples are these statements. Come to the next one. The usage of since. I told you about the usage of since while discussing tenses. Since is always used with point of time. Since Monday, since morning, since 1990, since 3 o'clock, etc. Since appears in two categories, and the two categories are, one is present perfect, the other one is present perfect continuous. These are two categories in which since appears. If you go through the rules in tenses once again, you'll understand that. Now if I want to just revise those rules we discussed. She has known him since 1990. She has known him since 1990. I give you many examples in tenses actually, just to revise those concepts. She has known him since 1990. I have been teaching here since 2000. I have been teaching here since 2000. Come to the first statement. She has known him since 1990. 1990 is point of time, so since 1990 is a correct usage. Now, since appears in present perfect and present perfect continuous. She has known him. The subject here is she plus has plus known is V3. Know, knew, known. Subject plus has plus V3 is present perfect. This statement is grammatically correct. I'll come back to it. Come to the next one. I have been teaching here since 2000. 2000 is point of time. So since 2000 is a correct usage. I have been teaching here. The subject here is I plus have plus been plus teaching is V1 plus ing. Subject plus have plus been plus V1 plus ing is present perfect continuous. Since appears in present perfect continuous, grammatically correct. So both the statements are grammatically correct. Now come to the first statement once again. She has known him since 2019. How many ideas are there in this sentence? Only one idea, that is, she has known him. There is only one idea in this sentence along with since, and that idea is in the present perfect tense. Come to the second one. I have been teaching here since 2019. How many ideas are here? Only one idea, that is, I have been teaching here. There is only one idea in this sentence along with since, and that idea is in the present perfect continuous tense. I said both are grammatically correct. When there is only one idea in a sentence along with since, that idea must be in the present perfect tense or present perfect continuous tense. That is a rule regarding since we discussed in tenses. The usage of since has one more rule. The rule is this, listen. When there are two ideas in a sentence along with since. Now in these two statements, there is only one idea. In the first statement, there is only one idea with since. The second statement also, there is only one idea with since. This is another rule regarding since, exception. When there are two ideas in a sentence along with since. The idea, so since must come here. When there are two ideas in a sentence along with since, the idea before since must be in the present perfect tense or present perfect continuous tense, and the idea after since must be in the simple past tense. This is a rule. So when you find two ideas in a sentence along with since, think about this. I repeat, if the idea before since, if there are two ideas along with since, the idea before since must be present perfect or present perfect continuous, and the idea after since must be simple past. Come to the first statement given here. Understand the meaning of it. First try to understand the meaning, only then think about the rule. She has been teaching me since she joined this institution. We have two ideas in this statement. One idea is she has been teaching me. The other idea is she joined this institution. So we have two ideas in this statement along with since. So this is a rule we need to follow. The idea before since, present perfect or present perfect continuous. The idea after since, simple past. Come to the idea before since. There is nothing for you to think much. Just write down the order. You can easily identify the tense in the category. She has been teaching me. The subject here is she plus has plus been plus teaching is V1 plus ing. Subject plus has plus been plus V1 plus ing is present perfect continuous. So idea before since is in the present perfect continuous tense. The idea after since must be in the simple past tense. Since she joined this institution, the subject here is she plus joined is V2, subject plus V2 is simple past. The idea before since is in present perfect continuous. The idea after since is in the simple past tense. This statement is grammatically correct. But the sentence started this way. She has been teaching me, present tense. Ended this way. She joined this institution, past tense. Started in the present, ended in the past. There's no tense constancy here. Still, it is grammatically correct, exception with the usage since. Come to the second one. He has been hating her since he met her. We have two ideas in this statement. He has been hating her is one idea. He met her is the other idea. So two ideas along with since. The idea before since is he has been hating me, hating her, subject plus has plus been plus V1 plus ing, present perfect continuous. He met her, subject plus V2, simple past tense. Before since, present perfect continuous. After since, simple past tense. But I say that this statement is grammatically wrong. Because there's nothing like hating. I told you this. I am hating you is wrong. Must be I hate you. I am liking you is wrong. Must be I like you. I am doubting you is wrong. Must be I doubt you. I am understanding you is wrong. Must be I understand you. So hating is a wrong usage. So even though the structures are fine, this statement is grammatically wrong. Come to the next one. He has hated her. Hated is there. V1, V2, V3. Hate, hated, hated. Love, loved, loved. Like, liked, liked. Doubt, doubted, doubted. He has hated her since he met her. Two ideas in this statement. He has hated her is one idea. He met her is the other idea. So two ideas along with since. The idea before since is he has hated her. The subject here is he plus has plus hated is V3 here. Subject plus has plus V3 is present perfect. So the idea before since is in the present perfect tense. Since he met her, the subject here is he plus met is V2 here. Subject plus V2 is simple past. The idea before since is present perfect. The idea after since is simple past tense. This statement is grammatically correct. There's no tense constancy here. Started in the present, ended in the past. So even though there is no tense constancy, this statement is completely fine. The exception we have regarding the usage since. So when you find two ideas in a statement along with since, think about this rule. When there's only one idea in a sentence along with since, the idea must be in present perfect or present perfect continuous. Got it? Now come to the next statement. They work hard and so dash. Understand the meaning. They work hard and so dash. Options are these. I'll come back to it. Come to the next one. He didn't meet us and neither dash. These are the options. Come to this one. Understand the meaning of it. They work hard and so dash. Now in all the options we have I. I is talked about in all the options. They work hard and so dash. The meaning of this statement is they work hard, I also work hard. That's the meaning. They work hard and so dash. I is there in all the options. So meaning is they work hard, I also work hard. How many actions are here? Only one action. That is working hard. And it's negative, positive, positive. So there's only one action here, and that is a positive action. And the same positive action is done by two entities. One entity is they and the other entity is I. Got it? Come to the next statement now. Understand me. He didn't meet us and neither dash. In all the options we have she. Right. So he didn't meet us and neither dash. The meaning of this statement is he didn't meet us, she also didn't meet us. That's the meaning. I repeat, he didn't meet us, she also didn't meet us is the meaning of this statement. How many actions are here? Only one action. Didn't meet. Negative action. And the same negative action is done by two entities. One entity is he and the other entity is she. So in the previous statement, the same positive action is done by two entities. In this statement, the same negative action is done by two entities. Come to the previous one once again. They work hard and so dash. Now the sentence started this way. They work hard, present tense. There's no word in the sentence telling us about the tense in the category of any idea. So the whole sentence must be in the same tense. Tense constancy must be there. They work hard, the sentence started in the present tense. So up to the end, it must be in the present tense. Only then there will be tense consistency. Only then there will be tense consistency. So based on tense consistency, we can eliminate two options, options 1 and 2, because did is past tense, eliminated. Now we have three options left. Now option 3 says, does I? Can does be used with I? No. Where the exception we discussed in subject of agreement, with I and you, the verb must always be plural. Does is a singular verb because of the es. With I, we cannot go for a singular verb. So option 3 is grammatically wrong. Now we have two options left. Do I do. I'll come back to this. Come to the next one. He didn't meet us and neither dash. The sentence started this way. He didn't meet us, past tense. So whole sentence must be in the past tense. Only then there will be tense consistency. Based on tense consistency, we can eliminate two options. And those two options are options 1 and 2. Because does is present tense, no tense consistency, eliminated. Now, I told you the meaning of the statement. He didn't meet us and neither dash means he didn't meet us, she also didn't meet us. The same negative action is done by two entities. Now, based on that concept, I told you about the concept of double negation. When two negative terms come together, the meaning becomes positive. This statement is negatively such because the same negative action is done by two entities. We have two ideas in this sentence shown by the punctuation mark comma. He didn't meet us is the first idea and neither dash is the second idea. This idea must also be negatively such. Based on that, I eliminate options 3 and 4 because didn't is negative. We already have a negative word in the second idea, that is neither. Neither is a negative word. So we already have a negative word in the second idea. So if we go for one more negative word, the second idea becomes positively charged because of double negation. I told you we cannot miss any concept because we don't know based on which concept we'll get a help. So we already have a negative word in the second idea. If we use one more negative word in the second idea, because of double negation, the second idea becomes positive. We want the second idea to be negative. Based on that, options 3 and 4 are gone. Now we have only two options left. She did she. In the first statement, we have only two options left. In this statement also, we have only two options left. Now in the first one, the same positive action is done by two entities. In the second one, the same negative action is done by two entities. Now the rule is this. When the same positive action is done by two entities, we have to use so. Whereas, when the same negative action is done by two entities, we have to use neither. So when the same positive action is done by two entities, use so. When the same negative action is done by two entities, use neither. Now the rule regarding these statements is, as I said, positive action means so, negative action means neither. This is a rule. Now the concept lies here. The idea that comes before so and neither must be in the order subject verb, And the idea that comes after so and neither must be in the order verb subject. The idea that comes before so and neither must be in the order subject verb. The idea that comes after so and neither must be in the order verb subject. Now come to the options. The first statement. They didn't work hard and so dash. The idea that comes before so is they didn't work hard. So before so it must be in the order subject verb. The subject here is they and the subject here is they. The verb here is work. So idea before so is in the order verb subject verb. So idea after so must be in the order, as I said, verb subject. Based on that, I do is eliminated. Answer must be do I. Do I. Do is the verb here. I is the subject. The answer must be do I. So idea before so is in the order subject verb. The idea after so is in the order verb subject. The answer must be do I. Now come to the next one. The same thing. The idea before neither is he didn't meet us. He didn't meet us. The subject here is he and the verb here is didn't meet. So idea before neither is in the order subject verb. So idea after neither must be in the order verb subject. Based on that, did she is eliminated. She did is eliminated. The answer must be did she. So it must be in the order verb subject. Did she. Did she. Did is a verb here. She is a subject. The answer must be did she. So when you find two positive action, when you find the same positive action done by two entities, use so. The same negative action done by two entities, use neither. The idea before so and neither must be in the order subject verb. The idea after so and neither must be in the order verb subject. Clear? Come to the next one. The usage of future perfect. We have already discussed the usage of future perfect in tenses. When do we use future perfect? Future perfect is used to refer to an action that gets completed in the future. For any action that gets completed in the future, we have to use future perfect. Then I told you, by appears in future perfect tense. I'll give an example like, he will have graduated by December 2025. He will have graduated by December 2025. December 2025 refers to future. He will have graduated is subject plus will plus have plus V3, future perfect tense. By is there. So grammatically correct. There is only one idea in this sentence along with by. So there is only one, if there is only one idea in the future along with by, that idea must be in the future perfect tense. That's a rule we discussed with examples in the case of tenses. Future perfect has one more rule. You know when to use past perfect. When there are two actions in the past tense, and only if there is a time difference between the two actions, the action completed first must be in the past perfect tense. Future perfect has a similar rule. When there are two actions in the future tense, and only if there is a time difference between the two actions, the action that will be completed first must be in the future perfect tense. The only difference is, in the case of past perfect, the two actions will be in the past tense. In the case of future perfect, the two actions will be in the future tense. That is the only difference. Now come to these statements. So when there is only one idea in the future along with by, that idea must be in the future perfect tense. Here in this statement, in these statements, we have two ideas. Come to the first one. She will sleep by the time I phone her. Understand the meaning of the statement. Phone her means I call her. That's the meaning. We have two ideas here. She will sleep is one idea. I phone her is the other idea. We have two ideas in this statement. She will sleep, future tense, simple future. I phone her is which tense, which category? I say it is also in the simple future tense, because in this statement, phone is the same as will phone. We are not using the word will again just to avoid redundancy. Redundancy means repetition. In a sentence, there should not be more than one word conveying the same meaning. If it is there, it becomes an error with redundancy. Now, this concept redundancy will also help us eliminate options while approaching all types of verbal questions. For example, he returns back from Mumbai today. Grammatically wrong. Return is the same as back, coming back. So he returns from Mumbai today, or he comes back from Mumbai today. You have to reply back is wrong. Reply is same as saying something back. It must be you have to reply. That's it. So redundancy means repetition. As I told you, in a sentence, there should not be more than one word conveying the same meaning. So if I say she will sleep by the time I will phone her, will is getting used twice. The sentence becomes grammatically wrong because of redundancy. So in this statement, phone is the same as will phone. And I told you, we're not using will again just to avoid redundancy. Will is understood here. So we have two actions in the future tense. She will sleep is one action in the future. I phone her, I will phone. I phone her is the other action in the future. Two actions in the future tense. Is there any word in this statement denoting a time difference between the two actions? Yes. By the time tells us about a time difference between the two actions. So we have two actions in the past tense. Time difference is there. So action that will be two actions in the future tense. Time difference is there. So action that will be completed first must be in the future perfect tense. Understand the meaning. Which is the action that will be completed first? She will sleep or I phone her? She will sleep is the action that will be completed first. So it must be in the future perfect tense. She will sleep is not future perfect. She will sleep is simple future. So this statement is grammatically wrong. Now in fact, the correct sentence must be she will have slept by the time I phone her. She will have slept. She is the subject plus will plus have plus V3. Subject plus will plus have plus V3 is future perfect. So two actions in the future tense. Time difference is there. The action completed first is in the future perfect tense. This statement is grammatically correct. She will have slept by the time I phoned her. Come to the second one. Understand the meaning. They will start for home before I reach there. Two actions are here. They will start for home is one action. I reach there is the other action. They will start for home is future, simple future. I reach in this statement, reach is the same as will reach or shall reach. Does not matter. Will can be used for shall can be used for will. We're not using will or shall again to avoid redundancy. So we have two actions in the future tense. Time difference is there, denoted by the word before. Two actions in the future, time difference is there. So action completed first must be in the future perfect tense. Understand the meaning. Which is the action that will get completed first? They will start for home or I reach there. It says they will start for home before I reach there. So this is the action. They will start for home is action that will get completed first. So it must be in the future perfect tense. It is not in the future perfect tense grammatically. No. So correct sentence must be they will have started for home before I reach there. They will have started for home. The subject here is they plus will plus have plus V3. Subject plus will plus have plus V3 is future perfect. Two actions in the future tense. Time difference is there. The action that will be completed first is in the future perfect tense. Grammatically correct. They will have started for home before I reach. Come to the next one. He will attend the meeting after they ask him to. Two actions are here. One is he will attend the meeting. Other one is after they ask him to. And both are in the future tense. He will attend the meeting, simple future. They ask him. In this case, ask is the same as will ask. Now, as I told you, we are not using will again to avoid redundancy. So two actions in the future tense. Time differences there are not there. Yes, denoted by the word after. The word after tells us about a time difference between the two actions. So the rule says when there are two actions in the future and only if there is a time difference between the two actions, the action that will be completed first must be in the future perfect tense. So in this sentence, we have two actions in the future tense, time difference is there. Which is the action that will get completed first? He will attend the meeting or they ask him to. He will attend the meeting after they ask him to means they ask him to is the action that will be completed first. So as per the rule, this action must be in the future perfect tense. It is not future perfect, but this sentence is grammatically correct. This is an exception that comes in the usage of future perfect. The exception is this: the rule of future perfect is not applicable when the word after comes in the sentence. When the word after comes in the sentence, the rule of future perfect is not applicable. There's an exception that comes in an exception. Now, in the case of past perfect, I gave you examples with both before and after. The rule of past perfect is applicable in all cases. The rule of future perfect is not applicable when the word after comes in the statement. So this statement is completely fine. He will attend the meeting after they ask him to. This statement is grammatically correct. So you have no choice. You have to learn the rules and the exceptions by heart. So this is about the topic tenses. We have gone through it in detail, the rules and the exceptions. And this topic matters a lot in all types of questions, especially in the case of spotting the error, sentence improvement, cloze test and fill in the blank questions. When we move on to cloze test and fill in the blanks, you can understand how we'll eliminate options based on the rules in grammar as well. In all the, based on the rules that appear in all the grammar topics. So we'll discuss cloze test and fill in the blank questions after completion of these grammar topics. Because the rules in these topics will surely help us a lot while approaching cloze test and fill in the blanks. Now we can move on to parajumbles and reading comprehension anytime, because the concepts of parajumbles and reading comprehension are completely different. But cloze test and fill in the blanks depend on the rules in grammar. That's it about the topic tenses. We have gone for the rules and the exceptions with examples. We'll go for an exercise. We'll try solving every question based only on these rules. If it is selection or elimination, we need to have a valid logical reason based on a rule or an exception. Thank you.